Warcraft 3 has smart spell splitting. StarCraft 1 did not. Warcraft 3 does. So if you have 5...
Welcome to the Grubsters.
If you have 5 destroyers and you do 5 dispels, the closest one will do each of the 5. Except if they're running away. Okay, I feel like I do want to explain this. Okay, hold on. This is kind of a weird thing about Warcraft 3, but you just kind of learn them and take them for granted over time. So basically, if you have 5 units, you have 5 units here, 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 and here. And there are 5 enemy targets here, 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 right? Actually, I could probably make that clearer. Here, 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 and here, right? If you box select all of these red units and you say devour this guy first, right? Devour, then this, then 3, 4, 5. What's gonna happen is it checks your 5 units, see who is closest to this initial target, and he's gonna go there. Then for number 2, it checks next who's closest, which is this guy. And then for 3, it checks next who's closest, which is this guy. For 4, it's this guy. And for 5, it's this guy. So it's not always ideal. As you can see, they go crisscross and they may block each other. Right? So, but that's just how it is. Like, the game automatically understands that the closest guy should get number 1. So that's pretty easy to understand, but there is something strange going on sometimes. If you have 5 units that are walking away from an enemy who is here, right? They are actually currently walking away in this direction, all of them, right? I'll just put 2 arrows, but it's basically all of them are walking away. Now what happens when you ask someone to devour this guy? Who do you think will go? A, B, C, D, or E? By the normal reasoning, it should be E, because he's nearest. But you can understand from the way that I'm creating this scenario, it's actually A that goes in first. It doesn't make sense. But it's only when they're walking away right now. It takes the farthest one. I don't know why. So in order to fix that, you just stop them and then you do it. It's very strange. It's just one of the idiosyncrasies of an old game. Maybe I can actually illustrate it. Oh, where did my single player go to? I want to see if I can illustrate it so that you can see it for yourself. And I can retest my... I have to restart. I can retest my hypothesis. Let's see. Let's go on a small map. Hills of Glory. By the way, fun story. This is the first map that I ever watched someone else play Warcraft 3 on. Namely, my brother. And I believe this is roughly when I fell in love with the game for the first time ever. All on Hills of Glory. My brother hosted an online game, a custom game on Hills of Glory. I'm 99% sure it's this map. He was undead, and the opponent was orc. And my brother is a manual reader. I'm a try it out and play it and get a feel for it and jump into it and skip tutorial. He's a manual reader. Before he boots the game, he has read the manual somewhere online. So he was playing a game of undead with Dreadlord and ghouls. And the opponent had shamans. And then he remembered things about the units, armor types and damage types. And he's like, I should make this unit. And then he went for this unit. And then he won. And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. Unit counter types. Now, StarCraft 1 also had counter types, but it was so obscure that I didn't know. I didn't know. Nobody knew. I mean, you knew if you knew, but they never explained it. So let me go ahead and test it now. What I just discussed. Okay, look. When I take these 3 Kodos and I issue 3 Devour commands, I do D left click, D left click, D left click. And if I start on this guy, then this, it should be this Kodo eats this Kodo eats this, and this Kodo eats this. As you can see, that which I discussed came to be true. We agree that it came to be true? It's the nearest Kodo that responded to the command each time. And all I did is D left click, D left click. I didn't hold shift. You specifically don't want to hold shift. Now we're gonna walk away single file. Right? And we're going to eat this, and then this. These 3. Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah, let him kill that one. Creeps are being a bit lame. I had 1 Kodo off screen selected. So now we're gonna eat them. Hey! Hold on a second here. Did you see that? It is the nearest. Okay, that crushes my second hypothesis. So how did I have that thought? It is the nearest. Then it's a heal solve thing only? Heal solve has reverse order. So if I... here's a weird thing, yeah? If I heal solve Kodo, I use numpad 4 and then I left click the Kodo. Like so. And if I want to heal solve both, I do 4 left click
Welcome to the Grubsters.
and 4 left click.
Credit is going 1 month strong.
But do you think that I should hold shift between them? You would think yes, and you'd be correct. I would hold shift. So if I do 4 left click, right? 4 left click, and then I hold shift and I do 4. I can't actually, because numpad 4 is... If I hold shift, numpad 4 is left. But let's say I had a different hotkey. So let's say I do this, and then I hold shift and I mouse click this. Who is gonna get heal solved first? I use my mouse, I heal solve the top Kodo, and then I hold shift and I heal solve the bottom Kodo. Who is gonna get heal solved first? The first one clicked, yeah, you would imagine. And it's true. The top Kodo got heal solved first. And if I were to press heal solve on the top Kodo, and then on the bottom Kodo, without shift, only the bottom Kodo should get heal solved. I did not hold shift. However, it heals both of them in reverse order. I did not hold shift. I said heal solve the right Kodo and then the left Kodo. And it heals both of them, but in reverse order. And I did not hold shift. This has always been the case. I've always been aware of it. Which means that after some time, I would heal solve my units in the reverse order that I want them heal solved. And sometimes it matters. Is it because it's Farseer? Yeah. I tried it with Nearseer once and it was fine. So, sometimes it matters. Like, if I'm here, right? And I quickly hit numpad 8 on both of them. I want this guy to start healing first before this. So if I'm like 8 left click and then 8 left click, I would want to first heal the one next to me. Because it means my Farseer starts healing him and doesn't need to walk that far for the first one. Because by the time I get to this guy might be off screen and now he's going back and forth. So I would do this. No shift. And then it actually does it in the right order. So you just have to reverse everything. It's very strange.
Watch out.
Very strange. But like I said, if I use shift, then I wouldn't have to do that. But the reason I never use shift is because shift numpad 4 is actually WASD. Because of the way the numpad works. And I always have been a numpad user. So I've never used shift. Not to mention, it's really hard to take your hand from shift to numpad 4 and then back on shift and then numpad 4 again. It's like, does anyone have a hand that long? Yeah, when you hold shift, it's a Q. When you don't, it's a stack. This is stack versus Q. It's a difference in programming. Okay. Stack or Q. But it's still a decision by Blizzard, right? It's a really clever, deep decision that improved the mechanics of the game under the hood to allow a non-shift double heal self command to both proc as a stack. I think that's a really interesting decision. It could be a decision, it could be unintentional. Really? Because every other command in the game doesn't stack like that. Almost everything. I don't want to say everything. I don't know everything. Like everything else gets overridden when you don't hold shift. But why do items not get overridden? Because item uses get queued in a stack. Right, okay, so I don't know what a programming stack is, but it makes sense. But then why is it in reverse order? Oh, is it like when you have a deck of cards and you take all the cards over and you put them on the table, and then when I start reading them, I take the top card? Programming stack just means last one in, first out. I see. Interesting. So you use numpad for inventory, no hotkey binding? Yeah, I've always used numpad for inventory with my keyboard hand. Interesting. Interesting thing about Warcraft. But I'm still surprised that the Devour thing didn't work like that. Because I feel like it has... Sometimes I'm running away from someone with raiders and I ensnare everything he has. And it's the farthest raider first. Not the closest to the opponent. It's the one that was most away from the opponent that turns around for an ensnare. And that's... I couldn't reproduce it just now with Devour. Maybe it's raider only, but that's weird to me. It might be cooldown that every close by raider already used ensnare, but I don't think it's the case. Maybe raiders are like a stack too with ensnare. Try with ensnare? Okay, let's try one more time with ensnare. Because maybe ensnare is different. I don't think it's about cooldown. It's a very logical explanation that I would have also offered. Another funny thing is you can have 2 peons and you can build 2 altars with them and it will be the nearest. But if you build 2 different buildings, it doesn't work. It doesn't work though! Huh? Maybe only for Great Hall? Ah! Wait, do you think they improved it? Do you think Blizzard, new Blizzard, improved it? I think it actually got fixed. When? So before... So here's how it mostly mattered to me. I would go to an expansion with 5 peons and put them in, right? And then I want a burrow, a watchtower, and a great hall. Ah! Ha-ha! There we go. Now we see. Ha-ha! So only Great Hall and Burrow share the same... No, only Great Hall and Burrow not share the same. Share a different mother. No, wait. Watchtower and Burrow are equal to each other, but a Great Hall is not equal. Huh? 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 Ah! Huh? Oh! It researches the nearby peon rule. Okay, look. Apparently, so if I do double Spirit Lodge, it takes all the nearest peons because it's a duplicate command. Even if this peon is nearest both building locations. See? This peon was nearest both, but they still enlist a new farther peon to do 2 tasks. And if I build a totem to the right and a lodge to the left, there's no problem because each had a nearest peon. However, if I build 2 unique buildings near the nearest peon, it doesn't use the previous preoccupation of the peon as a blocked peon, and it doesn't take the new one. Ah! No! Why? It's only when they're moving? Yeah, that's what I thought. So now we're moving. Ah! Huh? Sometimes when they're moving. It's only when they're moving away? No. No.
Be happy to work.
What?
Be happy to. I can do that. Okie dokie. Work.
It's only when they're moving. Usually. Most of the time when they're moving. Most of the time when they're moving. Most of the time when they're moving, unique buildings use the same peon. So what happens is you go to an expansion and you want 1 great hall and 4 towers. And the expansion doesn't get built. And this is a mistake in the underlying mechanics of the game. Because you don't want that. Like, you can easily build 5 towers. But if you build an expansion and 4 towers, the Great Hall gets overridden. So the way that I fixed that is if I have 5 peons walking to an expansion and I do this somewhere, right? I quickly look at them, I see whoever's nearest, and I gamble that that was the one that was given the Great Hall command because he was nearest. So it's a little extra step, right? I could be like, playing the game, I take 5 peons, I go to this gold mine, I make a Great Hall, and then I look at them and I'm like, you're probably it, because there's no way of really knowing. And then I see he was indeed it, because the Great Hall never got cancelled. But another way to do it now, apparently, does shift clicking work? No, never shift click. You know why? Because this could happen. You tie up 1,000 resources by the very peon that's inside the Great Hall. Now, you never want to shift click when you make buildings like this. So now I know there's a new solution. I'm heading to the expansion, right? Heading to the expansion. I'm like, I make a Great Hall. But I just hit stop, Great Hall, tower. Just hit stop. And I didn't actually need to do anything like deselect. Just hit a stop command. They can't be moving. That's the thing. That's it. Now, if Blizzard knew back in 2002 that this was an issue, I had playtested and I had found it, they'd probably have a solution for it. But this is how it is now in the engine. So you just need to hit a stop command. If I knew this, I would have probably won 5 more prize money dollars in my life in Warcraft. Just hit stop instead of the guessing which Peon is the Great Hall guy. $5 more. So, this was discovering obscure Warcraft 3 game mechanics. Sub for more. Oh, the Raiders, yes. One more thing, the Raiders. I forgot about the Raiders.
What do you want?
Someone asked, what does the synergy hack do? It allows higher tech.
Phone number. Okey-dokey. Yes, I can do it.
So what I'm testing now is it the nearest or the furthest raider
Work complete.
that issues an ensnare command
Work complete. Ready to ride. Complete. Ready to ride.
when you're walking away?
To ride. Come on.
So say for instance, I'm walking away from the trouble in my life.
Peon.
I'm walking away.
No problem. Say the word. Yes, chieftain.
Okay. So now, if I do an ensnare, it's gonna be this guy.
Peon.
Okay. If I do 3 ensnares, it's gonna be these 3.
Come on.
Or 2. You get the point.
Ride.
It's not like I misclicked the 3rd. Okay. So now, when I'm walking away, my expectation is that this raider will turn around first.
Let's ride. We're under attack.
This is incorrect.
Come on.
So this was debunked with both the Kodo and the Raiders. This was false news. It's very much just the nearest. It might be that I didn't have cooldown and I continually misconstrued the cause. Like this. Because the others were all on cooldown. Yeah, that was probably a little superstition I had. Just because I had been consuming so much ensnare that I wasn't aware anymore how much I was consuming.